Good afternoon, everyone, and good morning for some of you who are in Western Australia.
The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this webinar for ESS BIZTOOLS. I hope you've had a wonderful weekend. We're just waiting for a few people to register, and then we'll get underway with the webinar. Most people have now registered, so So what we're going to start with now is getting started and meeting the challenge of offering new services for clients. ESS BIZTOOLS includes a starter module, which we believe will assist accounting firms who are prepared to take on one of the most fascinating challenges that has confronted accountants for many years, and that is to deliver a wider range of services to meet the expectations and requirements of a vast majority of the small business community. The starter module will take you about 2 hours per week for 13 weeks to start the process of getting your team ready to deliver a whole new range of products and services for your clients. So in the first place, we suggest that you bring the team together to discuss the work that has to be undertaken, and that you are then able to start the process of developing the team to be able to offer this wider range of products and services to meet client requirements. So the grand plan to get ready, we believe you need to start with partner input, and the system that ESS BIZTOOLS has developed includes provision for partner input. Not every partner is going to be interested in business advisory services. Some of you want to concentrate on audits or taxation or insolvency. That's okay. Also, it's important to get your team members' thoughts. What do your young accountants want to do with their careers? What sort of work are they wanting to do? I think it's a great idea to get some client feedback. What are your clients wanting from your particular firm? It also helps your team to come to an understanding as to the work that they might be required to do once you've got some client input. The system then goes through some team member training. What we envisage is that the vast majority of business advisory services work would be delivered by managers and accountants, and perhaps marketing personnel if you have them in your employment. We see the role of partners to act as the mentors and coaches on these services, and that the accountants within your team are the ones who would be actually delivering the products or services to your clients. We think that all this will allow you to diversify some of your income from compliance mode to the areas that are new products and services. This will allow you to develop a business advisory services structure that will help in the promoting of services to your clients. It's also important to offer marketing and promotional services, and these are included within the material that we have. And there is a requirement to sell some of these services. Whilst business advisory services have been nominated by small medium enterprises as being part of their requirements for accountants or someone to provide to them, there is no guarantee that your clients are going to be expecting you to be able to supply these services. Why, you might say? Well, most accountants have marketed and promoted their services to their clients that what they are providing is taxation services. And some of your clients will not expect you to be now able to provide a wider range of services. So you will have to be selling those new services to your clients. And in our material, we have some hints on how you might go about selling. In the past, with compliance work, most accountants have not had to worry about selling. The clients have come back each year to get a tax return prepared. Business advisory services is different to that. Some of your clients you will only see periodically for business advisory services, and therefore you're going to have to sell the services to them. What we really are suggesting, though, is that you should be concentrating in the first instance on offering a virtual Chief Financial Officer service, and that will involve you in being involved with your clients on a very regular basis, and that hopefully will get more along the lines of the taxation services that most of you have been providing in the past. We believe that this process should be personalised, though, that you should be having an individual conversation with your key clients to identify the services they would like you to provide to them. So that our approach is that you would invite about 10 of your client groups to a small seminar in the first instance and talk to them about these new services that you're going to be able to provide. And then you would meet with them on a one-on-one basis to talk to them about their own particular requirements. So where do we start in all this? Well, the material is an introduction to business advisory services, which looks at the background, looks at some of the history of what's happened in the past, and identifies some of the services that might be looked at. Then we go into getting organised, starting to get input from partners, from your team, your accountants, and your clients as to the type of services that they might like to look at. And then you're in a position to start looking at, well, what are we going to offer? How are we going to do this? What are the products that we might think about identifying? Then there's a complete module on team training. Now, team training is going to look at the individual products, debtors, personal property securities, registered due diligence, chief financial officer services, succession planning, etc. And in the material which we supply to our subscribers, there are full products and templates on a whole range of material. We're going to look at leadership because leadership's very important, especially for the accountants who are going to be involved in this process. This is akin to offering a chief financial service to your client. So we need to go through a leadership module for them to have a full appreciation of the very important role that they're going to be playing with their clients. I mentioned marketing strategies before. We have included in the material some suggestions as to how you might market your services to identify to your clients very clearly that your firm is in a position to be able to deliver these type of services, especially after you've finished the introductory modules. Then there'll be a bit more concentration on the actual products. ESS BIZTOOLS includes 17 pre-prepared products, and we're adding about 4 new ones a year. We're not expecting you to offer to the market 15, 16 products from day one. Why not pick 2 or 3, do it properly, and then add another 2 or 3 in 6 months' time? That means that over a 2-year period, you should be in a position to be offering all of the products. We think if you go about it on that basis, this process will stick. You'll keep at it because it will start adding thousands of dollars to your fee income. The small medium enterprise needs analysis is basically a menu of services to identify to you what your client is interested in you providing to them. So in the first instance, you can give it to your clients to indicate these are the products or services we think you should be looking at, and then get their feedback. It might be things on, how's my debtors? Well, your debtors days outstanding are 62 days, you might say to the client. The Dun & Bradstreet average for the country is only 52 days. And obviously you're trading on a 30-day term, so your debtors are well out of whack. That would then give you the opportunity to be able to sell your clients on the concept of undertaking a debtors review. And within the products that ESS BIZTOOLS is making available to our subscribers, you have a full procedure to undertake a debtors review, so that you can then start earning professional fees from those services. The client might have identified the Personal Property Securities Register and asked what that's all about. And that can be a great lead in, so that you can advise your client on the benefits of undertaking an annual due diligence review to check their system, to determine whether they are conscious of the risks that they are taking under that particular legislation. Now, I make no apologies. I'm a strong critic of that legislation, but unfortunately, it's in our system. Some of you may have noticed that some of your clients are starting to receive preferential payment letters from liquidators. Most of those situations could have been protected if your clients had registered a particular customer on the Personal Property Securities Register. So it's worth thinking about of the type of services that the SME needs analysis might identify for you. You're then in a position to select your final products that you're going to offer and launch your business advisory services. Part of the staff training is to help identify who will be your product champions. Our recommendation is that within your firm, you should have at least one person who is very familiar with your products. Now, I should have said then individual products. So you could have one person who becomes your expert on the Personal Property Securities Register. Another person who's your debtors expert. Another person who's your succession planning expert. Another person who's your go-to person for virtual chief financial officer services. And over a period of time, those champions should train other people in those products as well. And what do we think the duties of a product champion are? They're to understand the type of services that are being provided to clients. Perhaps go out and do some client research to find out what their real issues are with some of those matters. And then the other key area is industry champions. In the first instance, I suggest to accountancy firms starting on this process to please identify where your fees come from. Who are the major client industry groups that your firm is servicing? And most of you will find that 80% of your clients are coming from 5, 6, 7 different industry groups. Do you have an industry champion for each of those industries? Do you have someone who understands more about those industries, those key industries that your clients are coming from, rather than just the profit and loss account? That was a comment that a number of SMEs have made to me over the years, that they want their accountants to understand more about their business than just the profit and loss account. So the industry champion should know something about the industry. What's going on in this industry? What are its competition factors? What's going on if it's exporting? Are the markets still available overseas, or has there been some changes? What's the exchange rate impact on either an exporter or an importer? What's the government policies? What are new entrants into that industry doing? These are the sort of things that an industry champion should know, I believe, so that they can adequately be advising your clients on their industries. So having gone through this training process, and by this stage you're probably up to about week 10 or 11, we suggest that you then plan to have a seminar to launch yourself into the business advisory services. You've identified your product champions and industry champions, so they should be able to stand up and give a 5-minute overview of what they're going to do. And our suggestion is you invite representatives of about 10 of your clients. So you've got about 20 client representatives and your team, and have a seminar that we've planned will last for 70 minutes. We've prepared templates for everything to happen in that seminar, including the timetable, the organisational material, suggested presentations to be made by various speakers. You can write your own if you like, but we've prepared it for you. And in that way, you are communicating with your key clients. And the first group should be your best clients who you think will be receptive to these services. Perhaps they're some of the people that you interviewed to get client feedback. Our reason for not saying invite 50 to 60 clients and have a real big fancy seminar is that you don't want to be embarrassed on getting too many requests for work all at once. Because clients are not as tolerant in time delays for consulting work as what they've learnt that they have to be, in many cases, for taxation. If they want their personal property securities register due diligence exercise undertaken, they want it done fairly quickly because you've alerted them to a potential problem. And now they're worried about it. They want someone to do something about it. If you're going to undertake to do a virtual chief financial officer service, you can't put it off. So our suggestion is you start with a small group of clients so that hopefully you can handle the work that you generate from that seminar. And then in 6 weeks, 8 weeks time, have another seminar with another small group of clients, and so on. I mentioned earlier about selling business advisory services. This is important. It's a new area for most accountants. Unfortunately, selling's not part of the degree course or even the CPAs or institute preparation exams and studies. Perhaps it should be, because as we go into this whole new world of business advisory services, and I suspect financial planning, there's going to be a greater requirement for accountants to do some professional selling. So we're going to take you through some guidelines on how you might go about doing that. And then you're ready to launch your one-on-one business advisory services discussions with your clients. So at this stage, I'm just going to hold this and I'm going to take you to the business advisory services training area. So I'm now on the ESS BIZTOOLS website. So there's the products that are in the business advisory services modules. And it's just a matter of clicking on to any one of those. There is a video with each of them explaining what you're doing. And then there is a procedure control form which will guide you through each individual module so that you can understand what we're suggesting you do at any particular stage. I selected the SME needs analysis. I'm just going to show you the form with the SME needs analysis. This is the form that you've used to act as a menu of your services that you could submit to your clients. In the first instance, we're suggesting there should be a review of your current situation with your client or your current situation, looking at a number of areas, trying to provoke some response from your client. The client on government grants might say, I don't seem to get any of those. No one tells me anything about them, but I notice my competitors are getting them. You could then offer to help look for some government grants for them. Incidentally, your industry champion, part of the process there will be to develop a knowledge on what grants are available for those key industries that that person's responsible for, so that they can talk the talk on grants from the very beginning of this type of process. Then we have questions going into the future planning. What else would the client like you to do? Are they worried about a business valuation? Do they want a business plan done? Would they like budgets and cash flows done, and so on? So that's the type of material that is contained. We're coming back to that part in a moment, and hopefully that will assist you. So I'm just going to go back to the PowerPoint slides now, and we'll just get back to where we were. A couple of years ago, I met a guy called John Soulis, who's an Adelaide accountant who operates a business called Global Business Camps. And I've talked to John on a number of occasions, and in fact, I talked to him again in October at the ATSA, Australian Technology Showcase for Accountants conference in Sydney. And John gave me a detailed overview of his 3-day camp. And when I looked at it, I thought, this might be a great way for some accountancy firms to get started on this process of offering business advisory services with your SME clients. So we sent around an accountant's minute last week, and I now just want to refer to some of the key aspects of the global business camps, which might help to convince you to get started on this journey. So Global Business Camps is a 3-day camp. It's not actually a camp. It's in a 5-star hotel on the Gold Coast. But so you're not having to pitch a tent and camp out in the bush anywhere. And the purpose of these camps is to discuss business issues with clients and accountants if you wish to attend. Your clients can go on their own, but I think it's a great opportunity for 1 or 2 of the accountants in a firm to accompany anywhere between 5 and 10 of your clients to workshop through with them some of the issues, and then come back and run training sessions, not only for the rest of your accounting team, but obviously also for your clients. You will have a greater understanding of what is really worrying your clients. So you're going to have plenty of time for one-on-ones with them, and it could help you to identify strategies that could be undertaken. Then when you return, the ESS BIZTOOLS material will help you to deliver those services to your clients. Now, we've negotiated with John Soulis a special offer for members and visitors to ESS BIZTOOLS. We've been given a VIP rate to go to this camp, $2,200, including GST. It's normally $2,970. Now, this offer remains valid up to the date 2 days prior to the camp, which is on the 14th to the 16th of March at Surfers Paradise. And for every 5 attendees, an accountant can attend free. So if you can get 5 of your clients agree to go, you can attend free. Now, John Sillis has been running these camps, he tells me, for 15 years. He's already signed up 18 of his clients from his Adelaide accountancy business to attend this year. Some of them are repeats, and in fact, a couple of them are going on their third camp. And it's not because they like camping. They believe they're getting something out of it. So this is a proposal to you. If you want to see where to go, you visit ESS BizTools, go to Business Partners, and then click on Global Business Camps. So on this part, I'm just going to show you. So I've gone back onto the ESS BizTools site. We have a key item headed Business Partners. And if we just go through our various business partners, near the end, we've got Global Business Camps. So we just click on there. You'll be able to then get our landing page on Global Business Camps. You can read the material that John Silvis has provided to us on the camps. A bit more information on the 2016 camps. You can click on and read their brochure if you wish. And if you want to avail yourself of this special offer that ESS BizTools has for the VIP tickets, if you just click where I'm marking at present and then send that completed form to me, Peter at essbiztools.com.au, we will register that registration for you and for any of your individual clients with Global Business Camps. And then the next communication your client receives will be from Global Business Camps. So I believe that that could assist you. We'll just get back to where we were, and hopefully that will be of some benefit to you in opening up the dialogue with your clients. So this is a journey. You're invited to join us to supply a virtual Chief Financial Officer service to your clients. Now, this is not a new concept. The founder of Financial Management Research Centre, which was originally at the University of New England in Armidale, Professor Jeff Meredith, had this vision nearly 40 years ago. And it's taken a long time for a significant section of the accountancy profession to start taking this very seriously. I believe it's a service that you need to be providing to your clients. Why? Clients want it. There's been quite a number of surveys by MYOB, by CCH, by Smith Inc., by universities that have all identified key business requirements that SMEs are looking for. I don't see any reason why your clients would be any different to the surveys, because the surveys have involved in total thousands of SMEs. Many accountants have written me emails or letters saying they want to supply real accountancy services. They don't all say it in exactly those words. That was a letter that I received from a young accountant who had transferred to Brisbane. And she was thanking me because she was able to get a substantial pay rise, because she was able to satisfy her new employer that she had undertaken a great deal of training in supply of accountancy services, which she called real accountancy services. I know taxation's important, and I know virtually every one of you will be continuing to offer taxation services. But you'd have to agree, surely, that there's some threats to taxation, even if it's the monetary amounts that you're being paid. It's becoming more of a commodity product. More and more is being outsourced to overseas countries. Therefore, some of your fellow practitioners in your area are able to offer to do compliance work at a cheaper rate than probably you can, because they're getting the benefit of what's been outsourced. Offering business advisory services does not really have those competitive pressures. It's a whole new ballgame. And you will create a significant diversified product range. Whilst you can, and I'm really not trying to be an alarmist, but there are other people who are looking to supply these services. There are other organisations who are not accountants who have identified that SMEs are looking for a wider range of services. And with all the technology that's now available, they're saying to themselves, well, do they really need accountants to be offering them business advisory services? We can look at doing that. And obviously there are some of your professional colleagues who are further down the track of being ready to deliver these types of services than what most firms are. So ESS BizTools can assist. We've got training material to help you get your team ready. We've got product material to assist you to earn fees. The government grant details, which are part of our services through ESS Biz Grants, give you the opportunity to offer a proactive service to your clients. We were encouraged to develop our government grant product, ESS Biz Grants, by David Smith, the former president of the Institute of Chartered Accountants in Australia and the managing director of Smith Inc. And David said to me over dinner a couple of years ago, tell me about grants. And after I talked to him about grants for a while, I asked him why he was interested. And he said that he'd been doing due diligence on accountants who were interested in selling their accountancy businesses into one of the product aggregators, accountancy firm aggregators. And he said as part of that process, he had to interview clients of those firms. And the biggest single issue that was being brought to him by those SMEs as to what they had issues or problems with their accountants was that their accountants were not keeping them aware of government grants. And they were quite upset about this because they were finding out that their competitors were getting government grants. They wanted their accountants, they wanted you people to be more proactive in identifying grants to them. Now, if you wanted to sit down tomorrow and start monitoring government grants in Australia, you can do it, and good luck to you, but it will take hundreds of hours. We've already done that hard work, and for a fairly small annual fee, you can get access to a whole range of government grant information that is then produced into a report that you can submit to your clients so that you can really identify to them that you're being very proactive. ESS supplies client educational material because we accept that some of you are going to have a challenge in convincing your client that you've acted for basically preparing an annual set of accounts and a tax return for the last 4, 5, 10 years, that you're now able to give them chief financial officer type advice. So we've got some material within our client mentoring and coaching, which we believe and our subscribers believe helps educate the clients that you are able to supply these new services. There's marketing assistance within ESS BizTools. We have a monthly newsletter for you to brand and distribute to your clients, and I'm going to show you that in a moment. And we have pre-prepared seminar webinar material, 34 separate seminars or webinars, pre-prepared, ready for you to use. All you've got to do is put your name on the material and your logo if you wish, and it's able to be used. Are you interested in joining us on this journey? There's no obligation to start with. You can go onto our website now and register for a 30-day guest access. You can also contact us if you would like to have a one-on-one webinar, and by that we mean someone from ESS BizTools and your team in your firm, and we will take you through a webinar on how the various components of ESS BizTools can help you to run a great service. If you want to contact us about that, please send an email to peter@essbiztools.com.au, and we will agree with you on a preferred date and time for the webinar to be presented. And that's free and no obligations. And if you've got any questions, once you've had a look at our guest access, please contact us. Send us an email and we will be able to answer you. Our next webinar in this series is in mid-January, and we'll be contacting you about that. But at that stage, we're going to look at the business advisory services products. So we will be communicating with you at that time. What I just want to show you now is the ESS BizTools site, and we're going to go to the Business Plus newsletter. I mentioned when I talked about marketing, we would show you this. We produce a newsletter each month for our clients to badge and send to their clients. And we're going to send each of you today, for attending this webinar, the December issue, which was placed on our website last Friday at midday Queensland time. In the first instance, we ask you to remove our logo. It's there so you know it's coming from us. And you can send this to your clients. You can put your logo on it and send it to your clients. And perhaps you should monitor some response. Ring them and ask them what they thought. Our newsletter is normally only 4 pages. This time it's 5 because last week there was also a major announcement by the federal government on innovation. So we decided we should comment on that. So we have an editorial to start with, and this time we've called it 2015, the year that was. Then we have articles on various things. Take a fresh look at your business, saying that every at least 3 to 4 years there should be a full review of a business. And in each of the articles we're asking for the SME reader to contact the accountant that sent them this if they want further information or if they want you to do something. Have you identified your intellectual property? Experts claim that millions of dollars are tied up in intellectual property in a whole range of small, medium enterprises, and they don't know about it. I'm doing an exercise at present where a business is looking at rolling its current business into a larger company, and a international organization is proposing to invest a significant amount of money, and we're preparing a business plan for discussions early in January when representatives of the foreign company are going to be in Australia. And part of our review sheet said, let's identify the intellectual property. Now, this business is not a normal client of our firm. They've elected to come to us for the business services that hopefully we can deliver to them. And it's interesting when you sit down and say, well, tell me about your intellectual property. And we've found a whole range of trade secrets that this business owns that are not documented. They're in about 6 people's head. So today, starting shortly, they're going to sit down and start documenting their intellectual property. And that came about because I asked them last week, what is your intellectual property? Where is it? Where's it written down? Is it in a safe? Is it in a bank deposit box? Where is it? Government grants for SMEs. We've looked at the Industry Skills Fund. If you happen to have clients in Northern Australia, remember there are some specific benefits in some of these government grants now for businesses north of the Tropic of Capricorn. And that, those of you who might not know, is the city of Rockhampton North. So there's some articles there. We've talked about research and development. This was in line with what the government had been talking about for the last 2 or 3 weeks about innovation and research. And I thought it was an appropriate time for us to write a reminder about research and development. And then we talked about some promotions. Are they still relevant? Are they working in this fast-paced new society? It's probably one of the reasons I think accountants have got to really look at what you're providing to your clients, because things are moving fast. We then talked about the responsibilities of company directors. It's part of a new series we're writing. And this issue, we talked about workplace health and safety, cash flow management, not trading whilst insolvent, and environmental issues and stock control. And working capital control. And then we had a brief overview of the government's announcements on the innovation statement. And because of this, we've decided that we will produce a January edition. We don't normally produce a January edition of Business Plus, but the innovation story as told by the government, and hopefully the government is going to be able to deliver on the story they're telling everyone at this stage, is so important that we thought we should produce a special Business Plus, which we're doing for our subscribers in January, and that will be released on about the 15th of January. So our subscribers receive this each month. So hopefully that gives you an idea. We also have a link to some articles in our products within ESS BIZTOOLS that you could use as a reference source if you want more information on a particular matter that's been discussed in the newsletter. And then at the end of this, you would remove the articles supplied by and place your own logo there. And in this position here where we've got attention accountants, the idea is there, remove that before you send it to clients and put your own message in there. It might be that you want to extend more Christmas greetings. I know you're not getting this too far out from Christmas, but you still might have some events on that you want to promote before Christmas this year with your clients. Or it might be that one of your clients has won Business of the Year in your area, or you're going to start January off with a big bang with some seminars. I hope you are. Here's an opportunity for you to promote them. If you'd like to undertake some seminars but you haven't got any material, remember that within ESS BIZTOOLS we have 34 pre-prepared, ready-to-use webinars or seminars. So hopefully that gives you an overview of the ESS BIZTOOLS material. I've already told you about the next webinars, and at this stage I'd like to sincerely wish you all a Merry Christmas. Some of you have visited us for a number of webinars and have been reading our accountants' minutes and other articles that we regularly distribute to you. Thank you for that, and we really do look forward to many of you, if not all of you, becoming members of the ESS BIZTOOLS subscribers family in 2016. I'm just going to check now to see whether we have questions. I did have a look a couple of times on the way through. I haven't seen any. There's none there at this stage. If you have any questions that you think about after this webinar, please don't hesitate to send us an email, peter@essbiztools.com.au, and we'll get the answers back to you. If you need any further information on global business camps, please send us an email. But in the first instance, I'd like to suggest that you go onto our website, go to Business Partners, then to Global Business Camps, and in the landing page, you can read a lot of information about the Global Business Camp at Surface Paradise, 14th to 16th of March next year, because I really believe that that will assist some of you to break the ice, and ESS BIZTOOLS will undoubtedly be making an annual event of linking up with business camps, global business camps from now on, because I actually believe it will be very beneficial to accountants and SMEs to get together. If you've got some SMEs that want to go and for various reasons you're not able to supply any accountants, I can assure you that if you send me their names, I'll look after them while they're there and put them into a group, because we anticipate having a number of small, medium enterprises who are going to register through our other site, ESS Small Business, which is a site we have to supply information to small, medium enterprises. And within that site, we have a Find an Accountant directory whereby SMEs from all over Australia can identify accountants, and they are the members of ESS BIZTOOLS that they will get the details of. So if you become a subscriber, you will also be included in the Find an Accountant directory. So thank you very much for your time today. If you think of any questions later on today or tomorrow, please don't hesitate to send us an email. I would really like to see as many of you as possible taking out the 30-day guest subscription and working through our material. Could be a good project over the Christmas New Year period. Thank you very much. Goodbye.